If he didn't want to deal with me and supporting me, I'm sorry. I pay for this place with emotional labor.
Cluck the claters, yeah, yeah. The lifestyle's not going anywhere. Lunchbox.
Hello. So first of all, I want to thank everybody who has been really kind and supportive. I am just overwhelmed with how kind people have been to me lately. I am just so appreciative of it, and thank you very much. There have been people who have given me very kind words during all of this, and just in general, you know, it's nice to know that there are human beings out there who are amazing and just kind and sweet and just very lovely. So that's what I want to say first of all. Thank you to those of you. And yeah, this is just, I guess you could say I feel kind of apathetic because it's so dumb, and I am going to rant a little bit because that's what this is for. People always say, why do you have to put your business out there, blah, blah, blah. I feel like it. It's cathartic. Yeah, that's about it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. So, yeah. As the title of this says, he who shall not be named is threatening to get the clops involved. I don't really think they would do anything. Things aren't on lockdown here, so I mean, they could come, I guess, but it's literally over some clomic books. If you weren't aware, that's what's behind me. These are all he who shall not be named clomic books. If you don't know who he who shall not be named is, well, damn, I can't explain that right now, but someone that I am currently married to for now, someone who said they didn't want a divorce, even though they're dating someone else and living with them, allegedly. I don't really care, honestly, what they're doing. I am very appreciative that I don't have to worry about, you know, having a roof over my head and things like that. I don't deny that he has helped me, but I also feel like that's just kind of a given. I moved here, dropped everything in my life to move to a foreign country to be with who I thought was the love of my life, and that person cheated on me and made me look like a damn fool, and just a lot of things. If you know, you know. It's a lot. Shaved my head when I didn't want them to, you know, the usual if you're in a toxic relationship. So after that, I went back to America. I was like, fuck it, I don't need this drama, I'm leaving. I left my son behind, something that was incredibly hard for me to do, but I did it, and I went back to live with my parents, which was difficult. Again, if you know, you know. So I was done. Then he shows up in America, which is very strange because he is terrified of flying. That's quite a big thing to do. I told him to get lost. I said I would not take him back. I wouldn't even consider it unless he shaved his own head and joined the lifestyle, became a clown like me. I never thought he would because he is very full of himself. His hair is, in his own words, all he has or had. So yeah, I was just going about my business, living in America, and I foolishly believed him when he joined the lifestyle, shaved his head, you know, became a clown, and I was like, why not give it another shot? You know, healthcare, it's difficult in the States, if you're aware of that. I mean, if you live there, you know. And there were just a lot of reasons why I felt like it was more beneficial for me to come back to Sweden. I really do enjoy living in Sweden, I do. Things were great in the beginning. He was on probation. He followed it 30 days, perfect, it was great. He abided by that 30 days. And then things were good for quite a while, and then it all just came crashing down because I am a fool. I know that, okay? You don't have to tell me that. I know that I was a fool. I'm saying all of this because this situation is so silly to me. It's so astronomically silly to me that I even am in this situation to begin with. But this man who did all of this, who came to America to win me back, and somehow won, because I'm so not always the brightest, this person now wants me to give him all of these during a pandemic. I don't know where he's been. I don't know who he's been with or in or anything like that. I'm not putting myself at risk. People say, oh, you know, it's not a big deal, blah, blah. I don't want to get sick. Like, I'm like this when somebody has a cold, no thank you, let alone a damn virus that there's no vaccine for, that people are having a difficult time recovering from, even if they're young and in good health. Some people might have long-lasting damage. I don't want to be exposed to that over some comic books. Like, I really don't understand how anybody with a shred of sense could think that it makes sense to come try to get 3,000, maybe more, I haven't counted, 3,000 comic books during a pandemic. So I said no. My health comes before some comic books. And, you know, I try not to focus on the negative, but some people have an issue with that. They said that I am ungrateful. I am a terrible person because I could just leave them outside. You know, if I were petty, you know what I would do? I would just throw them out the window and be like, go get your comic books. That would actually be kind of a screwed up thing to do. I mean, considering everything I went through, it kind of would be fair if you think about it, but I'm not really interested in doing that, you know? People want to bring up how I burned one comic book just to make a point, one that was ancient and he didn't give a cluck about. I did it to just cluck with him because he wouldn't know which one it was at the time. One out of 3,000 that he didn't give a shit about that is literally worth nothing. I could sell this stuff if I was that petty. I considered it. I was gonna sell quite a few. And people were like, you can get into legal trouble, blah, blah. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, you know. After being in the woods, having some time to do some self-reflection, I just don't want to do all that. And I really don't want to see him. We came to an agreement between the two of us. People act like I have magical powers, and I was like, you will do what I say now. He's under my spell. I mean, he must be, since he came to America to win me back. I was gone. I had left. Like, if you want to cut ties, snip, I did it. I went back to I went to America. I don't understand how people can act like, oh my God, you're a burden and he has to put up with you and all this crap, as if I made him come to America to win me back. Like, yeah, it takes two people to agree to get back together. But that's exactly that. It takes two people, and he was one of them. If he didn't want to deal with me and supporting me, I'm sorry. I pay for this place with emotional labor. So people want to be like, you don't do anything, you should be homeless? Is that really what you think? That I, someone who was basically dragged back here when I left, I should not have a place to live? It concerns me, not just about me, but that anyone could have that type of mentality. I don't understand it. You'd think that people would try to be more compassionate during a time like this. You know, I am very fortunate. I know that. I am very, very, very fortunate, but also I'm kind of just getting what I deserve. After what I've been through, and he knows that, hence why we came to the agreement, like, even he knows that this is what's right, because where am I going to go? Get a job. Okay, during a pandemic, right. So what do I do before I get hired? Where do I go? Should I just, I mean, when I went to the woods, everyone said I was crazy. I tried. I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to stay in this apartment. I want to be free. Didn't work out for a number of reasons, mainly because I realized that I needed to get my shit together. So when I go to the woods, I'm crazy and I'm ridiculous and it's sad and it's pathetic. When I come back to a roof over my head, I'm sad and crazy and ridiculous and a freeloader and a user and all this stuff. What is he? Imagine if I had done what he did to me. I just wonder the names that I would be called. It's really amazing, the absolute support, the fan club that this human being has. So yeah, he's threatening to call the clops because he's angry that he can't get 3,000 comic books during a pandemic. Someone said he needs something to read. Oh, he can buy a specific book on the Clinternet and have it delivered wherever he's staying. Could you imagine if the situation was reversed and I said, I need all my clown dolls and my Clart work and all this stuff that you don't need during a crisis? Could you imagine? It's just bullshit. And you know what I'm gonna do about this? Absolutely nothing. People said, go in the bedroom when he comes to get the comics. Guess what? He's not coming to get the comics, so I don't gotta go anywhere. put on gloves, put on a mask. Why do I have to do all that over some bullshit? Be an adult. I am being an adult. If he said, I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even 10, 20, 30, some shit I can put in a box. Sure, I'll put it outside the door. I'm not unreasonable. 3,000. It took almost a month for him to bring all this shit in here. And now he probably regrets it because I'm up in the apartment and you know what he does with this? He doesn't read them. He stares at them. That's what he used to do. He would just stand over there and stare at these. That's the kind of person we're dealing with. I can take a photo and then he can put it on the wall at his new so-and-so's and look at it. It's just like the absolute absurdity of it all. It's just like, you know, you want to call me crazy? Well, this normal, well-adjusted human being is throwing a hissy fit over some comic books during a pandemic, saying that he'll come bust up in here and get them all. And if it takes days, it takes days. And if he needs a police escort, he's been spending too much time in America. I'm sorry, I've never heard anybody talk about a police escort in Sweden. That is a joke. So if I gotta get the locks changed, I'll do what I gotta do. If I gotta get a padlock, I don't know how to install that or anything, I'll do what I gotta do to protect myself during a literal pandemic. And if he comes up in here, I'll blast his ass all over the Clinternet, just like I've always done. And people can choose to be team he who shall not be named if you wanna be. Be team Voldemort. Be team Voldemort. See how well that worked out for the Malfoys. Exactly. That's when you should know you're on the wrong team, when you're on team somebody whose name you can't even speak. Get it together. Anyway, again, thank you to all my supporters and all the people who have been truly kind. I do these videos to vent, again, because it makes me feel good. But I'm doing well. I'm thriving. I moved on. I've got the best woman in the world by my side. I got my son. You want to say hi, sweetheart? Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Say hello. Say hi to all your fans. Yeah. Yeah. I love you. Alright, have a blessed day. Don't let the claters get you down. Don't let any man, woman, claber, rude ass lady at the DMV where you shouldn't even be because you should be home during the pandemic. Don't let anybody get you down. Live your best life. And if people give you shit for it, keep living it. Keep living it, because that is the best revenge, is being clappy. I would know. Love you.